Right, start again. So, hi and welcome. Yesterday we did some tie-dyeing of some old clothing, and this morning I have washed them out, so they're ready to reveal. So let's have a look. So I've got them in a bowl, and I kept them in the plastic bags so we can see. So this one, the first one, this was the t-shirt we did. And this was not a t-shirt, it was a vest top. And we did this one with the autumn leaf and the vivid lemon and the peach. And I didn't do that much of the vivid lemon on the shirt, so it's actually come out really nice because I didn't put it on really thickly. So let's have a look at this one. And then once I've opened these and shared these, I will go on to playing with Luchador and ExpandIT. So we'll get on to the mixed media portion. Hi Lisa. This was the one that you suggested yesterday, I believe. Oh, look at this. This is awesome. Oh wow, look how that's come out. That is so cool. I love that. I'm definitely going to wear that one at shows. So that has come out really cool. So it's this blue in the background. It doesn't like it. Let's move it for now. That's better. That one has come out absolutely awesome. Love how it's got the stripes. That is brilliant. Love that one. So that's the first one that we did. Now, hi Bix, long time no see Bix. So this was the other vest top that we did, and this one we pinched it together and we tied it in several places. Oh, try not to cut my shirt when I open these. This one we did with the pink and turquoise, and where the pink has met the turquoise, oh look, we got white space. Where the pink met the turquoise, we actually got some really nice purple from it. Did anybody watch Sewing Bee last night? Wasn't it good? It was 80s, not 60s. Them 80s clothing were fantastic. I especially loved the shoulder pads. They were so fun. So Bix, we have been using the Colourcraft Procyon dye with old clothing. So these are clothes that I pulled out of my wardrobe, and they were a bit grey from being washed one too many times, and they were a bit a bit rubbishy looking, really. Oh, look at that one. Now this one, oh, this top here had actual stamping on it, and I was hoping that the dye would just make the stamping disappear. Hi Helen. And it has. You can kind of see a shadow here of where the stamping was, but I bet once that's dry and it's on, you won't be able to see that at all. That has come out so cool. I'm going to wear that once the sun comes back, if it comes back. Now, I did say yesterday that I thought that the thread wasn't cotton, and if you look, the thread has stayed white. So the thread on these ones definitely aren't cotton. So this is, when you're doing old clothing, this is something you need to think about, is if it's got any threads or lace and things on it, are they going to actually dye? So I did have a suspicion that that wouldn't, but that's come out awesome. I'm really impressed with that. I love this halo here. And that's the back. We got the same halo. Awesome. I love that. So that's much better than a white, horrible looking shirt that has gone grey from being washed one too many times. For those just joining, I don't know how many people are here, so I can't see when people are coming out because they've changed the interface. That was the other one that we did for those that have just come in, and that's the back. Right, so onto the pajamas, and again with that one, it's done the same thing. The thread hasn't dyed. So then we did two tops, and we did a pair of pajamas, and this is the top from the pajamas. And this one, again, you can see that that lace on the pajama just hasn't dyed at all. She's not taken on any colour. So that's not cotton. Right, let's get this one open and see. So we folded this one into a rather strange triangle. And then we tightly banded it. So we did that way, and then that way, and we did up. Oh wow! That's the first time ever I've got circles from doing it like that. I did it right. Get in. Get in. Isn't it nice when you get something perfect, just as you wanted it? I wanted circles. That has come out beautiful. Absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love it. And let's have a look at the back. And it's come out exactly the same on the back. So it can do, and definitely depends on the stamping that you do and what you use. Does need to be a good quality stamping media that you use. So look, and again on the thread and the lace. So the lace and the thread, it's not cotton thread, it must be polyester because it is not dyed at all, But yeah, you can put patterns and all sorts on, as Anne is saying, with if you stamp with fabric paints. So that is the pajama top. Very happy with that. Let's see how the pajama bottoms came out. So this is all clothes that came from my wardrobe, and they were all a little bit nasty looking because some of them are quite old, some of them I used in the workshop. The vest tops are definitely were very old. They were grey. They even looked grey on camera, so I couldn't even mask that they were, you know, that they weren't as old as they are. I think some of them were about 6 years old and them 7 years old for them vest tops, and they came out fantastic. So this is the trousers. Now again, the trousers, the lace hasn't dyed. It's not dyed at all. If I separate it, you'll see. Yeah, it's not dyed at all. And we tied this one. This one here around the crotch area just came off when I was washing it out, so we don't have any white space there. But well, this is the waistband. I tied this one really tight, so hopefully, but this cotton was very it liked the water, so it sucked it up, so I'm not too convinced we're going to get much white space on this one. Oh, we got a little bit. Right, let's try and get these undone. Untying wet fabric is really difficult. We just tied these ones in knots, see what happened. Oh, it's coming. I keep having to scroll down because I don't know what Facebook has done, but when I tried to come on live today, it changed the whole interface. Everything has changed for streaming. So if anyone's streaming this afternoon, bear that in mind, that it all changed overnight. Oh, that way. So once I have finished doing the reveal, we're going to go on to Luchador and ExpandIT. And then I'm going to put these in the washing machine on a 30-at-30 wash and then consider them done. That's how you complete your dye. Are we ready? So this is the top, that's the back. And these had a print on them as well. Oh wow. So I've got kind of a circle on both sides, so that kind of matches the top. Almost got the circle, almost. And then let's go up and see how the legs came out. So the legs came out really nice. Really nice. And the legs do match, just about. Pink's gone a little bit higher on that side than that side, but they just about match. Got quite a nice bit of white space on this one. Must have tied this one, the knot tighter than this one. But they are awesome, absolutely awesome. I shall definitely be wearing them pajamas, definitely. So if you've got like pajamas and stuff that you don't really like and they're cotton, have at it, get to it. Brilliant, I am impressed. I am absolutely impressed. Alright, get them back in the bag. and then get them in the washing machine after we've done today. I'm just going to move this out of the way. So that is awesome. Much impressed. But I do need to bring my mat back in because I'm going to be heating, and this silver mat underneath, it doesn't reflect the heat as much as I would like, so I need to put the blue one in. So if the blue one sends my colour funny, I'm really sorry in advance. Right then, has anybody here used our ExpandIT expanding media before? ExpandIT is, let me zoom in a bit so you can see my desk better. There we go. So ExpandIT is an expanding 3D texture media, and you can use it pretty much on anything. You can use it on pretty much anything. I like to use it on Luchador because if you're using it on Luchador, you can get really cool effects. And this one's a Nebula that I was working on at a show. So that one's come out really, really cool. That's got I've done the expanding media on it, and then I've heated it and burned holes through it, as you can see. Hi, Mum. And then I've coloured it with the Brusher sprays and the sprinklets as well. It's got a sprinklet on it. And it just needs finishing. The black needs to go blacker, but look at the shimmer on that. So cool. And the Nebula was from a stencil as well. It's a Crafter's Workshop stencil. I was using it the other day. There it is. So the Nebula is done through a stencil. Hi, Alison. Might get them out of the way. I've got some more samples here that I've done. So this one is block printing, which we're going to do a little bit of. So we're block printing onto Luchador. And Luchador is a fantastic, fantastic product because when you heat it, it just kind of vanishes and melts away. And you can get really cool effects, and you can sew through it. It'll go through your washing machine. You can wash it, expand it, but on a very gentle light wash. And this was what we did the other day. We did some transfer dye onto it, which you can do, and we've got some more transfer dyed pieces here. So you could do all sorts with the Luchador, but my favourite part is the burning, and it comes in different weights, Luchador does. I grabbed some. You've got a medium weight, and you've got a lightweight, and then you've got a heavyweight. And the heavyweight is very structural, and it will stand up on its own. So I like to make flowers out of the heavyweight, because you can make a big flower and the whole flower will stand up on its own, and you can form the petals, and it's really easy to do. So that's what we're going to do this afternoon. Not this afternoon. I keep thinking I'm in a class. I'm not. It's because I usually do this in a class. That's what we're going to do this morning. Right, let's get a little bit of Luchador cut. And let's do some stamping, and I've got one here that I've already done, so we don't have to wait for drying time, because we are limited to an hour. Right, what I'm going to do first of all is I need some wooden blocks, and I'm just going to make a background. I think I'm going to go for the circle. I like the circle. So to do stamping, the best way that I find to do it looks like this. It's like cream cheese or some kind of weird dip, but whatever you do, don't dip your chips into it, because that will not be good. Not be good. It tastes pretty nasty, to be honest. And then I'm going to put some on here. Then what I like to do is use the lid and take the excess off, and then I use the lid as a re-inker. And then I'm just gonna, you can do it either way, and give it a stamp. Hi Leslie. Anything that you let ExpandIT dry on is pretty much going to be only good for the bin, so please bear that in mind, that anything that you use ExpandIT on, I didn't put enough in there. Anything that you use ExpandIT on, you do need to clean it or leave it in water and clean it later. I'll quite often leave it in water and clean it later. Don't clean it straight away, but highly advise you, especially if you use paintbrushes and things, make sure you get it off your brushes. Another way to protect your brushes from your paint media and any media that you think might damage it is to dip your paintbrush, a dry paintbrush, into just plain washing up liquid, and then work it in. Let me grab a paintbrush. So what you would do is, to protect your paintbrush, it works with if you're using it in wax and things as well. So dip your paintbrush in and then just work washing up liquid into it, and then take a paper towel and wipe it off, and that's your brush protected, because nothing will stick to the bristles then. And when it comes to cleaning your brush, you can just clean your brush off and it's fine. Now this is the only time pretty much that I use baby wipes, is with ExpandIT, because it is a fabric medium, and it will, my cloths and things that I use to wipe my my things up, it will just stick. So my baby wipes have not really got much moisture left in them. Okay, so this one we've just done a bit of block printing on. This one feels like the lightweight. And grab another piece, and what you can also do is you can also paint it on. So if you wanted to paint specific patterns, like you wanted a square, or you want to do, if you were doing a beach scene and you wanted to do the crest of waves, that would be good. If you wanted to just paint your whole thing, you could just paint your whole thing. And the thicker you do it, the more impressive the ExpandIT is. So the thicker you do it, the bigger it comes. It just goes crazy. And so I'll show you what a solid piece looks like. You can heat it and expand it while it is wet. You don't have to wait for it to dry. And I wanted to show you with baking parchment. So this is a piece of baking parchment, Oh, where's my ink pad? Come on. Find it. There we go. So this is baking parchment. It is not baking paper. It is not greaseproof paper. It is not wax paper. It's baking parchment. And it needs to be that because we're going to add heat. So what I'm going to do is a really cool effect. If you put ExpandIT onto baking parchment or your Teflon mat, but it takes a little bit longer on your Teflon mat, so the baking parchment is really good. And then you heat it. What will happen is when it's completely dry, it'll just pop off, and then you can pull it off. You can put it onto, you can glue it onto your projects. You can do pretty much anything you want with it. Now the heat gun that I'm going to use is this kind of heat gun, the kind that throws out a lot of heat. Now usually I use this heat gun because this one, it dries really nicely. It's a gentle heat, but it's a consistent heat. But this one does it much quicker. So, but this one is louder, so I do apologize. Right, let's zoom in. Are you ready for this? So I like to put a skin over the top by heating it all. And then what I do is I go in and focus my heats. So watch here. Oh, can you see it? Now, is that not the coolest texture you have ever seen? And I could keep on going and heating it, because the more you heat it, the more it goes. And I always say stop when you're happy, because when you're happy, if you keep on going, you'll quite often change and it'll get bigger and go crazy. And the way to make it, if you want to use it straight away, it will just peel off. But if it's sticking for, what it means is that it's still a bit wet at the back. So this is why baking parchment is good, because if you heat it from the back, it'll just pop off. You can actually see it starting to drop off from the front. Let's see. There we go. Still a little bit wet in a couple of places. So if you use it with a stencil, it depends how good you are at stenciling. really as to how clean it will be. And how deep it is with the stencil, it's as deep as the stencil will be. So that's the back, which gives you a different texture entirely to the front. But if I wanted to change that and make it go bigger, I can heat it and carry on heating it, and it'll change again. So see, it's getting bigger. And it just keeps growing and growing. So we went from it being that space there to absolutely massive. It just keeps going and going and going. So once you've got what you like, you can paint it, you can colour it. See you later, Vix. You can colour it with acrylic paints, you can colour it with our sprays. Our sprays will colour it quite nicely because they are acrylic based, and you can glue it down, you can sew through it. If it's quite sturdy, and these bits on the edge that are broken into little bits, they're not broken, they're still attached, but they're quite holy. They can be quite delicate, but the big chunks will quite nicely. They will go through your washing machine on a gentle wash or a hand wash if you put them in a bag or something to protect them. And it is possible to burn your ExpandIT, so if you want it to stay white, then you need to make sure that you keep your heat further away rather than being really close like I was. But I'm just showing you so you can see the potential of it. So to colour it, I'm going to colour this bit now. I'm just going to use some sprays. What have I got here? Find a shimmer one. So this was Shimmer Violet. I will zoom out again. There we go. If you've got a shimmer spray, they have a ball bearing in the bottom, and you should do this and swirl, and then you'll hear the ball bearing become free. While you've got shimmer in the bottom, this one isn't, so I'll show you. Don't do this. If you do this to shake and wake up the shimmer, what happens is you push the mica powder up, and then that blocks. So do this. It's disappearing quite quickly. Give it a swirl, but never shake like this. Once all of your mica powder has dispersed like it has now, then you can shake it like that. But until you get to that point, don't ever do that. So I'm going to use a bit of Scarlet, and then I'm going to use some Shimmer Purple as well. All of that colour, look at that, instant texture. On a mixed media piece, these are absolutely fantastic because you can leave it to dry and then you can glue it down to whatever you want to use it on. Right, I'm going to put that one aside to dry, and obviously I don't want to dry it with heat because otherwise it'll start going again. Okay. I'm really pleased with how my shirts came out. I shall have to put one of them on tomorrow. Right, so I'm going to go and show you the Luchador now. So here we are on Luchador, and you could colour it before. Oh, scan again. So you could colour it before, or you could colour it after. Completely up to you how you want to do it on the Luchador. And I'm just going to burn this one to show you because I can, pretty much. So this one's a solid piece. So I've expanded this one just so we've turned it into like a solid piece of fabric. So that's all expanded now and we get that beautiful texture. I could go further and burn holes into it, but I really like it as a thick solid texture. It makes it really sturdy, and this is really great for sewing through. Sorry, it's starting to rain again and the clouds are coming over, so the light's going funny. Sorry about this. The hazards of summer, I suppose. It's summer, isn't it? Right, so I bent around the edges and now I can just pretty much pull it off and look at that beautiful torn edge. You can cut it and make a straight edge, and you can die cut it if you've got a Sizzix machine or a die cutting machine. I've never tried it through a scan and cut or anything like that, so I don't know. I think it would be quite hard to keep attached to the mat, but you can make some really, really cool effects. And don't forget, you can sew through it. Go through your sewing machine. Won't damage your sewing machine once it has been expanded. So make sure you expand it before you do it through your sewing machine. So that one was the solid one, and this one is the block printed one. Can you see? Yep, you can. Cool, isn't it, Leslie? You can do it on I've done it on birdhouses, so it looks like snow. I did look for a birdhouse to see if I could do one, but I couldn't find one, so I'm gonna have to order one. But I will expand it on a birdhouse and do a Christmassy project at some point. Okay, this one's going to go really fast, so I'm going to zoom in and hopefully the light will stay. There we go. So you can tell when it's been expanded because it goes white. This one hasn't been, but these ones have. And you can leave it so it's just like that as a texture, or you can go in and burn it. So I'm going to go in and burn down this side and then we'll colour it. Now this is the lightweight one, but you can see, let me grab the lightweight one again. You can see how floppy and flexible it is, and it's really loose. They do, and they've got a works in town. I wonder if it's open. Probably be open from next week, won't it? But now I've done the ExpandIT on it and burnt it, it has gone really, really hard. So it'll stand up on its own. And this is the point that I want it to be at to make flowers out of it. See, it's still quite flexible over here, but this one isn't. So I'm going to make this one harder. Okay, so we've evened it all up, and it does shrink. So it does shrink when you're doing it. Now, to make a flower out of it, you could put it through your die cutter and just die cut some flower shapes out of it. But all I basically do is I go in and do a rough petal, and I leave a lip on it like that. Oh wait, I'll get a smaller one. And then I take a stick. Oh. This makes really good poppies if you want to do something for Poppy Day. Really good poppies. I take some glue and I put a blob of glue in that little bit there, and then I curl it round, and then you put the next one round and the next one round and the next one round, and you make flowers. And because it's Luchador and ExpandIT, it is pretty much waterproof, so you can put it outside and it'll stay clean-ish, depending on where you live, obviously. If you're in a very high rain area, you might get some dirt on it. And if you colour it, the sun might fade it if it's in direct sunlight, but I have had them outside and left them outside and forgotten about them. So, hey ho. So then what you would do is put your next one on and curve it around. Can you see? And I use skewers, bamboo skewers. You don't have to put the stick in, you could just roll it together and shape it. But as you get further and further, and as you build up more, you get beautiful flowers. Look at that. And you can curl the edges over, you can sew through it, and I'm quite lazy, so what I usually do is I put a blob of glue in the middle and just put some seed beads in, and the middle is done. So that's pretty much how I do that. Let's do a third one. So we've got number 1, number 2 going around that one, and then number 3 going around that one. Fold them over. Beautiful flower. Look at that. That has come out really pretty. I put some more on, obviously, so I would put a lot more petals on than just that. But you can go as many as you want, and you can colour them before you expand them or after. It's up to you. If you colour them after, just remember, if you heat dry them, then you're going to affect the ExpandIT. So just be aware of that. If you're doing the poppies, I like to do the Scarlet acrylic mist spray. Now, I did get some questions about the acrylic shimmer sprays because somebody used them on a stream, and she didn't really know how to answer questions about them. She didn't really know much about them, but what it is it is the Brusho colour range done in a really high saturated colour, so it's really strong colour, and it's mixed with an acrylic base, which means it will stick. So if you have Tyvek, which is notorious for not taking colour and nothing sticking to it, it actually sticks. And this one's actually got the shimmer on it, and the shimmer actually sticks. So this is one of the shimmer ones, like we use the purple. That's the copper shimmer, look at that. And some of the turquoise. So that's what these are. They come two ways. You get them plain colours, so it's a plain one, and then that one's charcoal. They're both the same colour in there, but this one has actually got the shimmer in it, so it's shimmering charcoal. We do shimmer and non-shimmer. I don't think I've got a shimmer red that I brought up. I just grabbed, I've got copper. Yeah, I didn't bring a shimmer red, but I'll do the copper. This one's out of my class box, so they're pretty well used. And some of them don't spray because they need cleaning from the whole shake it, spin it thing. That one's working, so that's the copper. That needs a clean. Yeah, some of the black tip, it's fine. What I can do is just go in and pick up the shimmer that way. That works just as well. And then add some red. Once the red is dry, the shimmer will come through. And a bit of red on the back. So as these dry, the ExpandIT will dry slightly lighter. And that slightly lighter drying gives you the effect. So it doesn't matter what you block print on them, it just gives you an effect of texture, which is what we want. So you can dry them off with a heat gun, but you need to do it from far away so you don't expand it or change what you've already done. So these are going to take ages to dry, so I'm not going to dry them on camera. But look at that. Gosh, the colour. So bright. Let me zoom out and see if I can get that colour. Right, I'm just going to reset the colour. There's black. Should work. So it's kind of looking orange, but it's not. It is scarlet red. It's this blue. My camera doesn't like this blue, but I need it because I'm doing heat. So unfortunately, we are stuck. What time are we on? Oh, we're almost getting close to time. So next week, I have no idea what you want me to show you. So what I need you to do is I need you to tell me down in the comments or message me and tell me what you want me to show you next, because I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. So give me a clue. What do you want to see? Do you want some more dyeing? Do you want some more mixed media? Do you want me to show you some more products that we do? I've got fabric paints. I've got more sprays and inks and stenciling and all sorts that I can show you. We've already done transfer dyes. I'm just going to show you how this one does. Come on. So please let me know how you want me to, what you want me to show you. Zoom in. Let's zoom in. So this was the transfer dyed one that we did last week. How cool does that one come out? Look at that. That is so cool. Now can you imagine that sewn on to a mixed media project or glued down, or you could make vessels out of it if you sew it together. If you do a big piece, sew it together, because it'll stand up on its own. All sorts. That's really come out really cool. I like that. That was with the stamp, wasn't it? The that was with the Colourcraft stamp. Don't know where I've put it, but that's come out fantastic. So yeah, let me know what you want me to show you next week. We've had a nice little play with the expanding media, and I shall finish the flowers and cut some more out and glue them around a skewer, and yeah, I'll take some pictures and show you. So they're going to come out really nice. Where did you put the copper? Because I need to mix some more. I do want them to match, so I need them to be shimmery. So thank you so much for spending an hour of your time with me today. I hope you enjoyed, and sorry about the problems that we had this morning hitting the play button, but yeah, that was a bit unexpected. It just all changed, and I've got no idea how many people are here because it's not showing me anymore. No idea who's here unless you make a comment. So make a comment so I can see who you are and say hi. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again next week. And please do tell me what you want me to show you, because there's so much, I just don't know what you want me to show you. Bye for now.